I cannot read my tiny letters, so I'm going to just read these in the order that I have marked them. So It Skips a Generation is about the relationship that I have with the Japanese side of my family. They were interred at, my grandfather, his mother, and his little sister were interred in Tule Lake during the Japanese incarceration. And the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 is being used to this day. So this is in order in the book, but not chronological order. This is Pancakes with Oji-san. Oji-san is a Japanese word for grandfather. Somewhere, Pennsylvania, 1993. I slide down the tiny blue plastic desk chair and risk the static shrinking into my seat as Mrs. Wilson announces, "Pancake breakfast with grandparents." And I think first, no one looks like Oji. And I think second, I only have one person to bring. And that day, I do. My blue-eyed, curly-haired Boma, her ashes interred under Belgian sky and sun-warmed concrete topping a hill of wild perennials, would have joined willingly in raspberry velour jogging suit and mink coat, and I'm here with her worse half, wishing Oji whiter. I knew that as soon as they discovered I have no grandpa, pop-pop, or poppy, the classroom flirt boys draw up the corners of their eyes with middle fingers. I am no longer mere brunette, summer darkened, but reborn as other. I could blend in until now. This family betrayal is not the first. I use my index finger and thumb to widen my eyes top to bottom and stick my tongue out at the same boys and almost receive a principal's office referral. 6 months later, no one eats mom's yakitori at the classroom cultural celebration either. Only 20 years after do I think of how Oji must have felt a familiar othering, a routine gauntlet of gazes. The other kids' third grade grandparents probably would have made the same stupid face and would have also not gotten in any trouble. That day, we sat in silence, mutilating pancakes with white plastic fork sides since knives are dangerous. Each syrupy bite drenched in maple imposter reminds me that nothing is ever special and different in a good way. Thank you so much. This is Art Imitates Life. So 2 locations, Antwerp in Belgium, which is where my Boma was from, my mother's mother, and Edison, New Jersey, where my mother mostly grew up, but that's where my grandparents' apartment was. Art imitates life. Here's the difference. The opalescent bowl lives at the country house atop a smaller mantle than the Antwerp address. Her husband would spend a childhood picking strawberries instead of painting them. Sweat shimmering on an upper lip, sunburned cheeks just as red. The towels in my grandparents' bathroom were the same color as the tiles, wall, tub, pink and acidic, phosphorescent frosted glass lamps, and my grandfather's dark back awaiting a boar bristle brushing. In the cluttered back room, 2 twins make an uncomfortable king. Visiting at 6 with my mother, I'd roll to the middle rift to get closer after I'd struggle through Dr. Seuss. Now I imagine my own mother at 7, rolling into the soft white arms of her own. In the morning, learning to paint freckles on fruit, smoothing over all the blemishes, all the brown, rotting bruises. And the strawberries feature so much in the poem. My grandfather and his little sister and mother lived in Tacoma, Washington, in a logging town, and then they also lived somewhere else picking strawberries. So there's a whole, that's some of the imagery here. All right, I think this is the last school poem that's derivative curriculum, Public School, Pennsylvania, 2001. Adrian, this was the history teacher who had this enormous, yes, you remember, yeah, he was terrible. was terrible. Derivative curriculum. Of course we teach the essential texts. He lies to my mother and father on back to school night because the curriculum is easy and scripted already and not much has happened since. At least many of us fail to make a change in economy, liberty, who has taken whose away. My calculus teacher, Mr. Peck, pulls back the corners of his eyes to tell a joke, to reel us in. I feign ineptitude, fail tests. The principal swears this couldn't have happened because everybody loves him. In first grade, I make a list of people I hate, and my teacher calls my parents. I try to be unlikable. I come home to declare I am not a sheep, to be the one to separate myself and claim the other. All the while, the shame sticks in my throat like a salmon swimming upstream before it's clubbed out of the water. We never read Farewell to Manzanar. I still can't measure limits at infinity, and I continue to add their names. This is where the fish swimming thing comes in. Grand Slam, Tacoma, Washington. So Jack is the name of my grandfather. So, Grand Slam. Jack takes a baseball bat to the river. August spawning season. The dry rock tops steam like the belly of a monster cut open. Unlaces right boot, then left. Pulls them off without sitting and sets each woolen sock safely inside. There is no one out sunning today. Salmon bounce and skip upstream, suddenly buoyant and silver. Across the frothing surface, Jack wades in halfway amidst the frenzy. He winds up tight as a fist and smacks one out of midair toward the bank. It lands next to his shoes. Not all hits are lucky. Not everyone is lucky. Jack knows he's firstborn, blessed, extra pressure to provide as the sole, sober, near adult. A quarry of 4 he will share with his sister. He escapes hunger and a beating that night. No one is ever full. When he's bunted across the room, it's so his little brother isn't. We can only break the cycles we know we're a part of. He feels nothing for the fish struck out of the air, like a perfect pitch, stoic hit. They never see it coming. 2 more from this, and then a couple love I like to end with love poems because, you gotta. If not, what's it for? You know. This is for the no-nos, and Tule Lake was a no-no camp because of the no to the citizenship test that Japanese American citizens were given. For the no-nos, Tule Lake Relocation Center, 1943. To the tar paper shacks, no one could live there. Did they know this was a prison? Crickets begin a soprano chorus, each sottovoce piano, each note as pentatonic domino cascades over the Monte Cassino, growing along the fence. Sterno distributed nightly. Each inferno rekindles what's lost. Granny's kimono, the house, 100 pounds, cyano sky, peace always before the volcano. Each body is a composite of amino acids, chemicals, atomic eternity. No thing else persists. Nominal freedom, no destiny manifest, nowhere, hydrogen, no body, bomb, no more. And the last one, Bethlehem, PA, 1995. Love can, yeah, I know, you know this. Love can look like. Love can look like printed irises on a silk scarf from the museum gift shop, Irish wool berets, 3 cards on my birthday, the other 2 from the grandmothers when they couldn't write anymore. Sitting in the front seat, offering me the cheek and eyeball of ginger steamed fish. My mother taking you out of our lives like a fish hook in a gaping, slippery mouth. think I will do like three or four love poems. 3 or 4? Sound good? Yes, great. All right, cool. After Tinder date number 7, you're going to cry on the train again. What city rails haven't been slicked with your sadness? Charter bus, airplane. No polyester velvet seat is safe from salt stains, paisley or pleather, all brine bathed. Flecks of mascara like leaf debris in a fall storm. But it's still warm for now. Summer's breath from the subway stairs lifts hair matted from weeping. You were silent this time. Singular rivers streak black, change course on cheekbones. This unexpected divergence is no metaphor. You have at least 5 pretty years left. Crying will give you wrinkles. And what fool goes into a knife fight with a paper heart? So that was like not exactly a love poem, but like the next one. Yeah. A gift shop postcard of a swirled night sky, like Van Gogh. Misses the texture of fingertip. Flattens knuckled valleys, the pinky swipe, thumb smudge. The artist used index middle ring to lift cadmium yellow photospheres, cerulean borealis. I have a picture of you still palpable as your palm in mine. Had I not been so drunk, tumbled, stretched to newness that night, I would be unweighted and waiting to still perforate the canvas of time, tiny, bright punctures. Inside that room, we made all of the bodies heavenly, the day a starry night. I'll do 2 more. After Hours Ad Astra, and this takes place in Washington Square Park in Philadelphia. Which, if you haven't been to Philadelphia, it's like 87% like amazing. Like it's really like it's great. It's really great. Yeah, 87. I mean, this used to be a night market for body parts. Spectral physicians still pick through piles of criminals under the moon tree. We sit above thousands of bones, sculpting stories of passerbyers, speculate how many of them describe who we are. Friends, sisters, lovers, others. Measuring our distance, proximity of fingertips. A twosome whose lazy petals move in unison mirror their union, the ease of synchronicity. Another couple, half-carried piggyback, smiles widen like celestial gleams in rival pathway lamplight, reflect back to the sky the eternal truth about lovers. We make constellations out of carbon, create something complete from pieces, starting at the spark of stars, starting at these holy bones. Okay. Do you want a poem about bees or not a poem about bees? Bees. I didn't really set that up well. We'll end with a bee poem. Bees are so important. Bees are amazing. Like, they're so important. Cute little furry little kitty cats. I don't know. This is actually a dream that I had partially. The apiary library and falling back in love. Last night, I dreamt we smuggled bees to safety in hollow library books. In the post-apocalyptic Anthropocene, our dangerous cargo vibrating safely and alive held an encyclopedia's worth of stings and flowers, fruit sex through surrogate, woolly little black and yellow bodies to jumpstart a summer abundance in a barren garden. This morning, the potted fig tree in the kitchen casts a skeletal shadow. Last week, its new shoots fell back into themselves and leaves turned their palms to the sky before rolling like lace cigars. We killed this too. A labor to save this commitment, Clay scrapes ceramic tile over the aluminum door frame through the threshold of home. Once dragged outside, I supplicate its trunk that something in the terracotta sarcophagus lies dormant in hopeful thirst, enough to give life one last go. Into the sun, the soil is spotted with the throbbing shadows of a dozen sleepy bees. Thank you.